been? What have you been up to? How is the training been?
I was expecting it to be there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good afternoon. I can hear you and I can see your screen also.
Okay, Adeni, thank you very
Okay.
much.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, and I can hear some people's background voice. So it's all right. It's nice meeting you guys again, and I just want to believe that you guys have been catching up to the processes and the stuff we're doing because in this is our week 5. This is our week 5, and we are already inside the practical steps. I would want to know how far you guys have gone with the ISC2 training and certificate examination. What are the plans? Which side are you, and what are you doing about it? Yes. Anyone could talk, Nana or Denny.
So about the yes about the ISC2 certificate. I didn't even know you were supposed to I didn't know you were supposed to make use of the materials and stuff from the ISC2 side. So I just started last week and I finished 2 domains. I finished the first and the second
Okay,
one. So I'm still on it.
good.
And it's going well, it's going pretty well.
Good. Yes, please put your mind to it. On the examination day, you will need those informations and some extra, maybe read along information you find on the road or on the street.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Nana, what
I
about
also
you?
got in touch with Cyprian.
Okay, good. That's a
I got in
great.
touch with Cyprian and he gave me some material.
Good. That's a great.
Also still on it.
How long? Where are you? How long far are you in? Which domain are you? Are you in the first, second, third, or the fourth, or the fifth?
I'm still on the second domain.
Okay, on the second domain. It's interesting. So, just let you guys know that we are moving forward and we are doing good. I would also appreciate if you guys let others know about the program, especially eligible candidates. I prefer having eligible candidates or learners on the program than those who do not care about what they are learning. I had students sometimes who paid very huge amount of money and they never came to class from beginning to end. So that's why I prefer engaging um, eligible candidates. So today we are going to wrap up on this network home lab setup and network scanning so that we will go into ports. I want us to look at ports, what ports are and how they relate to what we're doing. So let me see whether I could get this material out here. Just a minute. Let me look for pots. So I'll just bring it up when it's time to present it. We would not look for it. Mhm. Please, someone should go to the group and remind the remaining class members that they are late. If they are not aware that they are late, please, someone should help them out. Be your brother's keeper. Is anyone doing that already? Okay. Sorry, come again. You said you've tried to run the commands?
Yes, I've tried to run the commands
Okay.
and I got them.
Okay. Okay. It's all right. So you're making progress. Nana.
Yes, I'm making progress. It shocked me so.
You dey shock you as you dey carry become cybersecurity person, ba?
Yes, now, to an extent, I was feeling like an imposter before, but now everything is making sense.
Ah, yeah. So there's a what's it called? This home lab setup is a full lab of its own. I think there are 10 exercises and projects inside home lab on its own. And if you watch the link I shared yesterday night, I think that was yesterday night, that one was only on number 3 exercise, which was monitoring my network to get loopholes and stuff like that. So there are up to 10 exercises which I want to be able to put up as a full class, because that 10 exercises can take as long as up to 7 weeks on its own, just practicals throughout. And by the end of it, of course, you go believe yourself. You will know that I've done something and I have a skill that is relatable to the job. Then I also attach it with hack the boss practices. So I appreciate that. I would like all of us to just keep when your training finishes at the 7th week, just hang around once in a while so that at least when we are working, you'll be motivated to even do more yourself. You know that you belong to an active community that is still doing something, and you will not get lost on the way. When you're done with it, you are still to ask.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, you are still free to ask any question and ask for assistance in anywhere. I already know, I will share. If it's something, I'll tell you, okay, give me a few time, let me work on it. That's everything counts. So, guys, we go. Good news. Come on. Nana, has she dropped? Okay. Okay. So, the pots are already, the pot, I've gotten it. Let me present for us. I should just leave it here. We'll just take it from the drive here. Download. Okay. Please, we've already spent 5, 10, at least 15 minutes and people are not here yet. I don't have any issues continuing. Just want to get this document up so that we'll wrap up, start doing what we came here to do. Whenever they come, they watch the video, and that is it. Okay, the pots is up and rolling, and we go in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so on the screen we have that we need to we are in step 3, which is to scan the router network to locate all the devices on our network. And the command we're going to use to do that is sudo map nmap. If you're already on your working machine, your VM, you might not need to do sudo. That's if you're on PowerShell. But once you're not on PowerShell, you're on ordinary command line, you will need to do sudo, and it will ask you. It might ask you for your password, your main password for your account, before it will run strong command. So, and I figured out that this what's it called? This code SN192.168.8.0 has, it needs a /24 for it to scan the entire network, because 0 is the broadcasting address, and we need to send a message through this 0. Concept of ports. After we talk about street ports, we'll now start looking at in-depth analysis of our network, trying to capture details, things that are going on in our lab, everything. So let's talk about ports, because ports will be part of the um, um details we'll be looking at. Ports, then protocols as the way they go in. So we are going to look at ports, and we'll come back to the machine. So if you start seeing me presenting the ports, you let me know. Mhm, mhm. If you can see the ports, you let me know.
I can see it.
Okay, good. So we said that in this is a context of cybersecurity, and in the context of cybersecurity and networking, ports are very crucial points of communication for devices. Meaning, for every device that is connected to your system, that connection went through a port. It's like for you to enter into a house, you go through the gates, right? Yes. So those gates of the individual houses in our estate, those are the ports. So ports are crucial points of communication for devices, especially for entry on a network. Understanding ports and why scanning them is important is essential for both defending systems and conducting penetration testing. So let's break it down. What are ports? Could you read it out?
A port is a logical endpoint in a network communication that allows devices to connect to specific services running on a system.
Exactly.
Example, web server, email server.
Good. So there are logical endpoints that are gateways in a network communication that allows devices to connect to specific services running on a system. So now there is a total number of ports that is applicable or available in a system. And out of the thousand, I think it's 53 or 55,000 ports, 53 over 53 something or 55,000 ports. Out of those ports, there are the ones that are what's it called? That are kept. Let's say there are ports that are VIPs. Okay. When you are boarding plane, how do they share the seats? The I can't remember again. Um, the ticket. How do they share it? First class, right? There are first class ports that are reserved. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That are reserved for specific um, communications. Then there are the ones that are often being used maybe as you anyhow they come in. For example, I'm talking to you now and I drop the call. I want to talk to another person. I can now reuse the ports or reuse the gateways. I can reuse them, but the ones that are reserved for those specific kinds of communication. So it says here, when two devices communicate over the internet or over a local network, they send data to each other using IP addresses. But for the data to reach the correct application or service on the device, the communication is directed to a specific port. If I want to talk to the phone diary or the phone contacts, I have to use a port that is specific to get me that particular information. Else, my message will be lost. So, types of ports. We have the TCP, which is transmission control ports. They are reliable and connection oriented communications, and they are used by services like HTTP, ATS, HTTPS, FTP, and E, and etc. And of course, we know that HTTP and ATS has to do with the websites, right? Hope we know that, right? Yeah. So if your phone or your device wants to go online to the website, trying to access a site, is going to use the TCP protocols. And of course, there are ports that are reserved for these protocols. Let me ask randomly, who knows the port that carries HTTP? Or the port where HTTP runs on? Any idea? If no idea, you let me know no idea so we could move fast. Hello?
No idea.
Okay, please. I will need your participation so that I will not feel lost. Okay, HTTP always goes with port 80. Port 80. So I think the what's it called? The major ports and their numbers and their port numbers, I might be able to share that with you guys. That's if you don't want to go online and read it up. I might give you this. If you need this material after the class, I will share it so you could look at it. There are some ports that are the ports that I told you that are reserved. Those ones, it's always nice for you to have them on your head because you're going to be working with them constantly. For example, HTTP is 80, port 80. And what is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? What is the difference between the both of them?
No idea.
Okay, Nana, what is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS? If I don't get response for you in 1, 2, 3 seconds, I'll leave you. So the difference is this. What is this? This is S, okay, and that signifies for security. So why HTTP is not preferable to HTTPS is because of security. If you watch on any what's it called browser, maybe you type a browser, and at the top right corner you will see a padlock in front of the bar. Have you seen anything like that before? A padlock locked in front of the bar on the address bar when you're in a browser. Have you seen anything like that before?
Yeah, I see it.
Yes, that denotes that that website is secured. But when you're going through a website that doesn't have that padlock, it will show you that anything you share in this website is don't share sensitive information here because it's not protected. So the difference between HTTP and HTTPS is that HTTPS is protected. So it is preferred to be used than the one that is not protected. So the one that is not protected uses port 80 and the one that is protected uses port 443. Those are reserved ports. Then also we have a file transfer protocol FTP. So this one is on TCP ports. When we go to user datagram port, which is UDP ports, we have it. We say that they are connectionless ports. They are used for connectionless connections that don't need you to verify whether this connection is what's it called secure or not. For example, if you are downloading a file, most times you don't care, or let's say you are streaming a movie on YouTube, you don't care whether the streaming site is secure or not. Well, what you're looking for is let the video you're watching, let it be fast and let it get to me in good quality. So UDP ports are the ports. User datagram ports are the ports. Sorry, user datagram protocols are the ports that are used for this kind of connections. Connections that are connectionless, that need faster, less reliable communications. Also, they are used by DNS. What is DNS? Any idea? What is DNS? Any idea? DNS means domain name service. This is what manages our domain names, our domains. Google.com, Alibaba.com, CNN.com, domain name system manages domains of businesses, of organizations. So the ports, these UDP ports are used by DNS and streaming services. They just go and fetch something for you, and they fetch the right things. Okay, the next is port numbers. So I need someone to read out this. Unmute and read it out.
Ports are represented by numbers ranging from 0 to 65,535.
Yes, this is the total number of ports that are available for use in every network or in every device. For example, your phone has this number of ports. My laptop, every device has it. So, if ports are the gateways of entry into devices, don't you think it would be a wise thing to ensure that these ports are closed, or better still, protected? And that is why the reason why we are looking into them now. A whole 65,535 ports. I think 1,000 of them, or 1,024 1,000 of them are as known. The remaining are just ephemerals. So we say well-known ports. Ports from 0 to 1023 are reserved for system services. Example, the HTTP uses port 80. HTTPS, which is the secured one, uses port 443. SSH uses port 22. Any idea who knows what SSH means? Any idea? SSH means secure shell, and it is mainly used for remote access. For example, if I want to connect to a machine or a device remotely, I will go through the SSH ports. So the SSH ports uses ports what? Port 22. Adeni, can you mute yourself? Thank you. Ephemeral ports these are ports, like I told you, that are expendable, they are reusable, and they range from ports 49,152 to 65,535. They are usually dynamically assigned to client-side connections. When your device wants to, speak or communicate to client-side connections, maybe it wants to fetch something from your Windows, your this, that every movement going on in the network is going on through a port, and they could use any of these ports that are inside here. But these well-known ports, this particular from 0 till 1023, they are reserved. Okay, now why are ports important in cybersecurity? Someone read it out. Start from here.
Ports are critical because they define what services are available for external devices to connect to. Each service listens on a specific port, and open ports can potentially become entry points for attackers.
Great, great, great. So self-explanatory. They are critical because they define what services are available. For example, If I search my ports, I'm going to know. In fact, let us practicalize it right away. Let's go and search for open ports that are in my network. Okay. How many of you agree we should do that?
Aye.
Oh,
Yes. Okay. Let's do it then. Let's go search for open ports on my network and see how many ports are open. Then from what we already read now, we'll know which of the ports by their name. So, okay. The code for port scanning, we're going to write it down, is normally, where did I get it down? If I go back on my previous um, commands, I might be able to see it, but let me just find it. For full port scan, to check all the 65,535 ports, I'm going to do nmap dash s, then capital S. Hope you guys can see, right? Nobody's responding.
yes, you can.
Okay. Followed by dash P, standing for ports, then the address of the device. This time around, my router 192.168.8.1, and I'll send it. Hopefully, we're going to find out the ports that are open on my router. Okay. Mhm. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hurry up so we get you down. The call will end in 15 minutes. That means we will get a new link because I need us to finish the pots today. So by next week, we'll go into deep penetration. By on the This is the fifth week. On the sixth week, we'll still do deep dive in the home lab networking. Then on the seventh week, I think so, we will do penetration testing with Bob Suit and Juice Shop. Okay, the port is still reading. Let's uh, keep up with the stuff while we wait for it. Okay, I think I could still share it from here instead of going back again. Let me let me share the ports class, the ports document here in my Kali machine. While we wait, we'll be watching to see when the results come up on the port scan. Okay. So when you get back after the class today, you scan your network to know which ports that are open on your network. Right. Okay. new window. We could get in and rerun last command to see. Hopefully, I hope that connection has not spoiled or stopped. Meaning, so let's. We have nmap ss nmap port p 2.168.8.1. Okay. Look at the ports from this to go into the new group. Also, while you're in the field, I think it will also be nice to start putting up little cash so that you could get yourself a strong system, you know, ahead of your task and your journey in cybersecurity. Because what we do is CPU consuming and RAM consuming. Okay, guys, you guys can see the ports again, right? The ports document.
Yes, we can.
Oh, now I left, what's it called? The machine. The machine now opened the ports. The the one that we opened recently. Because I was wondering why it was taking so much time. So let's get back to it. Sorry about that. See, in life, it's always nice to be patient. Immediately we left there, it came out. Okay, let's do it quickly. Share the machine. What can you guys see on the screen now? I don't know what you guys can see. Oh boy.
We can see everything.
Oh God. What is it showing? Can't share your screen. Sorry, an error has occurred. Screen sharing error. Oh, we have 8 minutes to go into the new link. Come on, share my screen. Yes, it should be up. Oh, okay. Let's drop and use the new link to come in. I think it uh, wants to rest. Okay. Let's drop and use the new link to come in. Okay, guys. Yeah. QZTR. R K Z R N W P. Okay, we're here. You could see it, right?
Yes, you can see it now.
Yeah. So the command we ran was nmap dot slash small s then bigger s then dash port. The p starts for port, then the router. Okay, the router. If you do this for your personal device, like for your phone, we are going to check for the phone, so we'll see the result it gets for individual devices. But because this is a router, we expect a bigger number of ports open. If this is also a web server, we also know. Okay, I think what we're going to do is I have a website, my own website that I manage, that I'm going to check the ports that are open to see if we have access to it, to see whether what we can find in it. But don't go spoofing around or you're doing this, as little as this port checking is, it rings a bell if there are security, what's it called, devices in those companies, organizations. They will know that somebody is looking them up, and they could come pick you up thinking you're a bad person. So it's advisable to stick to the surroundings that you control or you have control over. Okay. So now, when we ran it, it gave us the reports. So these are the ports and the states. It's shared it in port, state, then service. So the first one is what? Hello? What's the first one? I want to hear you guys.
Hello?
I can't hear
Hello?
you guys.
Hello? Hello?
I can hear
I
you.
can hear, I can hear.
Hello?
Hello, Nana.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, but it seems you can't hear me.
But I can hear you now.
Okay.
Okay.
Please, we're talking about the one you highlighted.
Yes. So the first one is what? Port 53, right?
The history is,
And what's the state?
hello?
What is the state?
Open, it's open.
Good. Then what services is he using?
The domain.
Good. Now F3 53, just like we saw, is uh, is part of the reserved what's it called? Reserved TCPs. Now port 80, we saw port 80 in the documents, right? And is under transfer protocol.
Yes.
And here in my router is open and is using HTTP. And remember what I told you guys about HTTP? What did I say about it?
You said it's not secure.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not secure, meaning that anything I am prone to attack. I am prone to attack in these. Any information I send through HTTP here will not be secured. Then there is another port open here. What's the number?
The 17, the per 17.
1748. That's port 1748. And remember,
Screen has shifted a bit.
you said? What did you say?
Your screen has shifted a bit.
Okay,
Your screen has shifted a bit.
I heard you. What about now? Is it stable now?
No, it's still shifted.
Where is it shifting to?
Um, the communication, I only see from the M.
From the M.
Yes.
Communication. Where is communication from the M? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Can you see?
Used by DNS streaming. I only,
Okay, okay, okay. The document by the left. Can you see it? Can you see this? Can you see what I highlighted?
no.
Okay.
I see the cover, but I can't see what you highlighted.
What about now? Can you see it? Is everyone else having this same challenge, or is it only Nana? Adeniyi, I need to hear your input.
I can also see from faster. It has shifted again.
Yes, I took it to the left. Is it okay where it is now?
I see part of the highlighted text.
Okay, part of it, and let me reduce it. What about now?
Hello, I just got here.
Can you see what can you see on the screen? Please, can you
Um,
confirm?
I can see there's a part types of ports, and I can see your Kali.
Okay. So Nana, how do we help you so that you could see everything on the document? I'm sharing two documents at once, sharing the port material and also sharing the commands. Can you see both of them? Hello, Nana.
I can see it now.
Okay.
Hello?
I'm hearing you. I could hear you.
Okay, I can see them now.
Okay. I guess it was your network, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we said that ports that are 0 to 65535, 65,535 ports. And the well-known ports are from 0 to 1023. And we have HTTP on port 80 and HTTPS on port 443 and SSH on port 22. Now we came to my router and we did the port scanning and we found out there's 53. This 53 is for domain. We found also we pointed out that uh, domains. Where did we get that? Service enumeration. Not DNS. We found okay DNS. Yeah, UDP for DNS. So for this domain that we have here, port 53 is for domain. It is open. HTTP port 80 is open and it is not secured. Then we can now see from 1700 and 1748 TCP open, 3002 TCP open, 5400 open, 8359 open, and this one is unknown. All other ones, they have the names of what they are. And I don't even know what they are. Okay, probably they are Microsoft tools talking to each other, whatever. Now, what we are saying is why are ports important in cybersecurity? Nana, can you read this again? I know we've read it before. Read this again.
Okay. Ports are critical because they define what services are available for external devices to connect to. Each service listens on a specific port, and open ports can potentially become entry points for attackers.
Good. So in my case now, I have one, two, three, four, five, six open ports out of 65,529. So okay, now see what it said here, not shown. It showed six ports that are open and available. Then the remaining ones are closed TCP ports. These ones are not shown because they are closed or they are unreachable. Okay, good. Now I have six that are open, and out of the six that are open, I know that this is vulnerable. It is 80, but 80 is not secured. And I also know that the domain is also, I believe so, I know. So now let's read down our port material to get more information. Key reasons for port scanning. Adeniyi, can you take up the first one? Service enumeration. If you're there, if you are not, we'll go on. By scanning ports, open ports, you can discover which services, example the SSH and the HTTP that are running on a device. This is the first step for attackers or security testers to understand what they are dealing with. So the first thing they do is to check which ports or which doors, which entry points are open for them to use or they could be able to use. Then when they find out the doors, the open ports, they can now go back and build keys or weapons to use to access them. Now, let me check the IP address of my what's it called? My website. so that we could check and scan it to know how many ports that are open. Now you're going to find out with the tool I'm going to use, we're going to use it to find the IP address of my website. You could use it to change websites from their name to their IP address. Let's see. Um, Let me check DNS tools. DNS tools. You all can see it, right? MX toolbox, sorry. So I need to do um, DNS lookup. I want to look up better www.jms.com.ng. You guys can see what I'm saying, right?
Yes, we can.
So let me find the IP address. IP address finder. Hope what's it called? What is my IP? Let's look up TCP lookup. Reverse lookup. Let's do a reverse lookup to see what it's going to bring. It brought out an error. Let me check. Let's see virus total. Let's see virus total. Okay. We'll search jms.com. jms.com.ng. Okay. Okay. Details. Let's go to details. Now we have something. You guys can see this, right?
Yes, we can.
Now, when an attacker or someone that does a penetration test that takes a hold of your website address, what it does is recognizes, that's finding information, what you can find about, just like I did now, and look at the whole lot of information that I found. Number one, I found the IP address of the website. Number two, okay, I already have the website. Then the domains, the DNS servers, where they are, the name servers where they are, and they are hosting. What is hosting that website? I can find it, and they are public, and that's the same thing that is out there for everyone to see. So I could take a let's check. Let's directly check it from here now. Let's scan it to know how many ports that are open on here. Nmap S S P. Someone call the IP address for me. Someone give me the IP address. Hello, Nana, you there?
Hello.
Yes, give me the IP address of my website so that I could use it and search to search the port. Call it for me.
The IP address of your
Yes, this
website.
over here. This.
67
Okay, 67 dot
225
225 dot
dot 140
okay dot
dot 197.
okay. Now let's see the results that we're going to find here. Remember, what we're doing is port scanning to know how many ports are open. And if we can find how many ports that are open in a particular server or infrastructure or a device, that means we know how many roads that we could take to enter inside there. Okay, while it is doing its port scanning, let's go back to our document. It says here, by scanning open open ports, you can discover which services are running on a device. This is the first step for attackers to security testers to understand what they are dealing with. Then identifying vulnerabilities. We are talking about the key reasons for port scanning. The first one is service enumeration. And that service enumeration is to scan the open ports to know which ones are open. The second reason is identifying vulnerabilities. Now it says each service running on a port may have known vulnerabilities. Scanning allows you to identify potential weak points in a system. And we already have one weak point here, which is port 80 and also port 53. You could see how these things are being used practically, right? Are you there? Okay.
Yes.
So, to identify vulnerabilities, each service running on a port may have vulnerabilities. Scanning allows you to identify them. For example, an open SSH port could lead to brute force password attacks. SSH port is port 22, which is for remote connection. If you want to connect to your network or to a device remotely, you're going to use SSH is always being used. So if the website, for example, if this our website brings out the results and SSH is open, port 22 is open, then someone could literally hijack the website and enter into the database. So the third reason also is for attack surface management. If a device has too many open ports, it increases the potential ways an attacker could exploit it. Limiting the number of open ports reduces the attack surface. For this my network now that I have 6 open ports, what I could do is limit them. The ones that are not useful, I close them up. The ones that are not needed, I close them. If I can't close them, I could harden them more by putting what's it called, um, um, wire. What's this again? Anti firewalls around them. Yes. So another reason for port scanning is compliance and hardening. Organizations often need to ensure that only necessary ports are open as per compliance standards, etc. Example, PCI DSS. Scanning helps identify and close unnecessary or risky ports. So what's number 3?
Number three is what happens when you scan ports.
Okay, continue.
Should I read it?
Yes, continue.
Okay. When you scan a device for open ports, example using Nmap, we are probing that device to see which ports are open, closed, or filtrated.
Yeah, filtered, yeah. Go ahead.
Or if open ports, the service on that port is running and reachable. Example, if port 22, that is SSH, is open, a service like SSH is available, and you could potentially connect via an SSH client. Closed ports. No service is listening on that port. The port is visible, but nothing is responding. Filtered ports. The port is being blocked by a firewall or security mechanism, meaning you cannot tell whether the port is open or closed.
Thank you very much. Exactly. Exactly. So, why should you then scan the ports? Scanning ports is useful for both attackers and defenders. As a defender, it is useful because you're going to use it to discover weaknesses that exist on the system. Regular port scans help you identify potentially open and unnecessary ports that could be vulnerable. For example, a forgotten service running on port 21 FTP could expose sensitive data. Also, why you should scan ports to prevent unauthorized access. By identifying open ports, you can configure firewalls to close them or restrict access, minimizing potential attacks. Then also to monitor changes. If new ports suddenly opens up, you will be able to see and know why is this port open, who opened it, what is it doing. It could be a sign of unauthorized changes or malware running on your system. As an attacker or pen tester, number one, you need to find entry points. Attackers scan for open ports to find entry points into a network. If they find open ports, they can target services running on those ports. Example, trying to exploit a vulnerable version of Apache on port 80. This our what's it called? Scanning is not yet done. Let me open a new Windows and run it. That's what I did on the last one, and the result came out faster. Okay, let's do it. Nmap s the big X P as port. Then I have 67.140.197. Okay, hopefully this will finish faster than the previous one. So, as an attacker or pen tester, to find entry points, attackers can, they use the scanning to know the ones that are open so they could use it to access vulnerable versions of Apache. Finding or fingerprinting the system. Fingerprint the system. To fingerprint a system means to identify, to place like this. I've been here. You have a history of where you've been. By identifying the open ports and services, attackers can figure out what operating system and software versions are running. Then, of course, it's going to attack. They use information to build their weapons, to use it for their attacks. Okay, example of common ports. Remember, I told you guys that there are common ports, the ones that are reserved, especially, or more so, the ones that are more common.
Yes.
Yes. So these here, we're going to find that uh, these are some commonly scanned spots and the reasons they might be of interest. Number one is port 22 SSH. What is the interesting, what could be used it for? It could allow unauthorized remote access if weak passwords are used. The second one, port 80, which is not secure, HTTP. Web servers can have vulnerability. Any web server running on port 80 can have vulnerabilities. They might have outdated web apps, etc., and it is prone for attack. For port 443 HTTPS, this is a secure web traffic, but might have SSL and TLS vulnerabilities. Anyway, port 21, which is FTP file transfer protocol, might be vulnerable to clear text password capture, outdated interpretations too. I think in the practical I did last night, I caught some tokens and stuffs through FTP protocol 21. No, okay, that was DNS 53. Sorry. So also this one port 3389 RDP remote desktop protocol. That's the meaning of RDP. Remote desktop protocol, a frequent target for brute force attacks. Then 445 SMB. SMB, I think SMB, I've forgotten what SMB stands for. Used in many network services, vulnerable to attacks like Eternal Blue. Okay. Then 3306 for MySQL database services. It could also be exposed. It could also expose sensitive data if misconfigured. 53, which is DNS, yeah, the one I did last night, could be vulnerable to spoofing or application. These are some of the common ports that have been scanned or is being scanned, and why they are being scanned. They are ports of interest. So, how to use port scanning defensively? Let's read it. Come on, Nana. How do you use port scanning defensively?
To enhance security, that is, run scans regularly to detect open ports that shouldn't be accessible.
Okay.
Close unnecessary ports by disabling services you are not using. Use firewalls to block access to ports, except for trusted IPs or networks. Monitor for unexpected changes in open ports as part of your security posture.
Good. Thank you very
Conclusion.
much.
Okay, thank you.
So, in the conclusion, we found out that ports are the gateways through which services communicate over a network. Scanning them allows you to identify which scanning, to discover potential vulnerabilities, to reduce your attack surface by closing or securing exposed ports. In cybersecurity, port scanning is one of the most fundamental steps in network reconnaissance, penetration testing, and security networks. Port threats. Okay, I was trying to do. Okay, so next week we are going to start from the threats, port threats, and to look into them more and probably discuss about them. So that will be what we're going to do next week. What you could do for your work is you read up about ports, then also try scanning your individual devices. For example, why these ones are not yet the scanning we are doing for my website while it is not yet up. Let's scan one of the devices on my network now to see uh, how many ports are open to it. What is the command? What am I going to use? Tell me. Hello? Nmap X capital P dash P, then let's go 198.16, no, that 192.168.8.108. This is the Kali machine, this machine we are in now. Let's see how many ports are open and how many are closed then. Okay, this one came out quicker because the network is reachable to us. Now, Nana, look at the
Hello.
yes, look at the scan reports. Not shown. The ports that are not shown, how many are they?
Um, 65534.
Closed TCP ports, right? They are not reachable or they are closed.
Yes.
But we only have, there's one
Yes.
port that is open. Which port is that?
Port 22.
And what do we know about
Stroke
port 22?
350.
Yeah, Yes. From what we read now, do you
It's an
think,
SSH.
yes, do you think it's secure?
No.
Yeah, you see from here. Remember, could you remember?
Yeah, it's secured. It's secured.
Yes. Could allow
It's an
unauthorized
HTTP.
remote access. You see, if weak passwords are used. So scan your devices and know which ports are open and which are not open. Maybe after the training or when you guys are done, we might look deeper, or when I launch the home lab practical training throughout, which is going to be 7 weeks full of training, 7 weeks full practicals on home labs and exercises, things you're going to do. We will look at the things we're going to be doing. For example, there are 10 consecutive exercises that are going to be on that training for the 7 weeks. The first one is, of course, we'll start by network scanning and mapping. The second one will be packet capturing and analysis. The third one will be vulnerability scanning. The fourth one will be penetration testing and on mobile devices. The fifth one will be creating a DNS spoofing setup. The sixth one will be man in the middle attack. The seventh one, simulating phishing attacks. Eight, creating a local honeypot. Nine, log analysis and monitoring. And 10, VPN setup and testing. It's going to be a full 7 weeks, all practicals, all you could do with your home lab. So thank you very much, Nana, for staying through the class, and get your hands busy within the week. And also, do not forget your ISC2 training. And I wish you guys a success ahead. Thank you. Any questions before we wrap up?
No question.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
Have a nice weekend too.
Cool. Bye.
Bye.